the the arena there, and
Mhm.
he went to that concert. But he talks about 40 years or 50 years of meaninglessness that has been in music, that has
Mhm.
been kind of part of the programming that we've all been like
What
soaking up, which is,
Christian,
yeah.
Mhm.
what do you think about the whole like a Tavistock and Epsilon and their projects with music and social engineering? Have you looked at it a lot?
Yeah, and I read the book that he talks about, which is the memoirs of Billy Shears, and it really is all about, and it really kind of, there's a lot to it that rings really true, which is that we're in kind of a matrix that's being socially engineered, right? And that like the music and the media and all that we're being presented with video games and stuff like that is all part of moving us in a direction,
Mhm.
like and all of the things, all of the messages that are brought in there are meant to take the society in a direction and steer it in the best way that they can, and that the in a way the whole British invasion of music was like their moon landing, right? It was their
Hmm.
way of kind of like uh laying the stage and having these British lads just go around the world, and creating this sense of comfort
Hysteria.
with these guys in pop music, and then in a way take it in a direction that is, really dark and twisted, like.
I was I was not surprised, almost relieved when I found out. When you found out, how did you feel? That those women that were freaking out for the Beatles when they came to America were actually hired university
Yeah.
students.
Yeah, and so you see
Wow.
the whole Beatlemania thing is these girls that are screaming at the top of their lungs. Now, granted, I actually asked people that kind of grew up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it was a crazy time." But like the level of screaming that took place was like beyond my comprehension when
Yes,
I used
pulling their
to.
hair out and just like losing their mind, right?
Yeah. And when I was like a 15 or 16-year-old, I was like looking at these videos going,
Yeah.
I can't ever imagine myself
Yeah,
whipped into such a frenzy over such a,
that's
like
it. That's
I
exactly how I felt, Christian.
yeah,
Exactly what I've always felt like. And I always wondered. And when I finally found out that they were hired, it just made so much sense, right? It was like,
yeah,
of course they were,
yeah.
right?
The whole kind of journey that the Beatles went on after Sergeant Pepper, it tells the story of, guys that uh well, y- I don't want to take the show in a whole Paul is dead kind of direction,
See,
but it
there's
is
a thing I
all
wonder
about
though.
social engineering
Mhm.
and getting us and using the pop music to kind of do it. But to bring it back to you, like that can get so mundane and hard to actually continue day after day when you're singing these meaningless things, right? And it's like I don't even want to do this anymore because this song means garbage to me.